Hello everyone, my name is Jordan and welcome back to another update. I have been so busy lately that I haven't been able to do any videos lately, but I'm finally deciding to finally upload and finally give you guys something to watch. So it's been such a long time since I've uploaded a video, and it really has sucked for me not being able to upload any videos, but I'm finally gonna be uploading, and this is just to put something out, just to let you know what's been going on. Now, it's time for this layout to have a huge change. And I've already started it off by, I've done this for the last 2.5 days, working on this part, this up thing for this layout. Now, I've already had stuff done before I started doing the stuff that I'm doing now, so you may see different things going on that you haven't seen before, and then things that I've already done, and then things that I have done already, or that I have done just in the last day and a half. So let's go ahead and get started and go ahead and show you guys the update of my layout. I'm actually deciding to actually take this time for the quarantine to actually start building my layout even better than what it is or what it was. So let's go ahead and get right into it and show you what I've got. So as you can tell, there is a huge difference of what I've actually done right here. You can actually tell that there's a huge difference. So much stuff has changed since the last video I've uploaded. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you every single thing that I have added in and just made. So let's go ahead and get right into it, and hope you guys can enjoy this amazing video, just showing you guys all the stuff that I've changed in this layout. Now, as you can tell that the frame rate is a lot more higher quality. That's of course because I'm using my Note 10 to record this, and this is going to be my new primary camera. If you haven't seen that video of me talking about my new phone, well go ahead and check that out, because that was the video that I posted before this video. So as you can tell, there is so much stuff that changed in this layout, and I'm going to go ahead and go by and tell you every single thing one by one, and just have a great old time just telling you guys all the stuff that I've added in. So let's go ahead and get right into it and have some fun. So as you can tell, there's been a lot of stuff moved around and a lot of stuff added in. I'm going to talk about the stuff that I've moved around and added in and all in this video. So please just sit back and relax, and let me just go ahead and tell you guys everything that I've added in and stuff that I have moved around, and it's just all cluster of crazy stuff that I've done in the last few months. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and start off right over here. Now we have had, over the last couple of months, I have added some stuff in this area, and some of the stuff has already been here, but I've added some things to the stuff that has already been here, and this is one of the main things that I've gotten. This I've gotten from during the Christmas break. I got this the day when I got that train over there, the Pennsylvania train over there, which you've seen, which I did a review on. You can check that out in my channel. So I got this the day I got the Pennsylvania steam engine that has Bluetooth and stuff in it, and this was a secondary present that I got. So this is a Lionel Anheuser Busch barrel loader. The box is somewhere, I don't know where I put it, somewhere. But this is a pretty awesome modern piece of technology, and that's because this thing is equipped with the Lionel plug and play. Now, if you never heard of the Lionel plug and play is basically the modern version of connecting your accessories to your track. Now, of course, Lionel is over 100 years old, And back in the day, the accessories, or there was two ways that Lionel did it. They did it by, first of all, was like connecting it from the transformer, or having like two terminals from the transformer. One was for the track and then one was for the accessories. So when you would turn up the power, both things would operate at once. But there was also another way to power up your accessories, and that was from connecting your accessories to the track. And the Lionel Fast Track has that. Like, for example, this track over here, this has a little power track. So you would put wires going up to the little wires going up to the track, and there would be like little metal pieces sticking up from under the track, and that's where you would plug in the wires to, and then that's how you would be able to power the track. Well, that's how it would work with the accessories. And so that's exactly what this is, but this is like 10 times more modern than having to connect the wires to your track. All you have to do is literally plug it in, and there you go. So this kind of reminds me of a LAN cable. If you never heard of a LAN cable is like like that yellow plug that you would plug into your router or whatever you get your Wi-Fi from. That's what you would want to connect it to something else, like your computer or other things like that. You would use a LAN cable. And this kind of reminds me of a LAN cable because it kind of looks similar. And basically you just plug that in and there you go. That's why it's called plug and play. And so it's basically like an output of one of these. Now, these are for the Lionel Fast Track transformers. I don't have one of them with me right now, so I can't demonstrate it. But I'm sure the guy, you people out there that have fast track trains or Lion Chief trains would understand what these plugs are for. Now, this is an input, so this is where you will put the power to your track, and then when you plug that little outlet transformer to your track, it would all light. Of course, this little light would light up, and then your track would be powered. Well, this is basically an output, so all the power that's going to the track is coming out of the track and going into this little outlet piece or output piece, and then you would plug in your plug and play accessory, and then this would light up when you use the power. So this is just a so much more modern way of connecting your accessories to the track, which is just an amazing thing for Lionel to do. Now, this doesn't do much for the plug and play. This basically just lights up this little light right here. So there's not much for this because all it does is just light up the little light up here, and then everything else is manual. Because this guy that's in this little hut would come out and controlling this with this little lever here, and you would push the barrels off that little ramp and into a rolling stock or barrel loader, and those are pretty cool. So if you want to see a review on this guy, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, or like this video so I'll know that you guys want to see a review on this. Now, and I'll go way into detail, just showing you guys all the cool features and all the details that this thing has and all the stuff that comes with it. And so if you want to see a video like that, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll gladly do it for you guys. So let's go ahead and move on from that and move on to something else. So as you can see right here is a little clock. Now, this specifically reminded me of the one in Elmhurst, because if you're an Elmhurst civilian or someone who goes to Elmhurst, a rail fan and other things like that, you would see a little city clock sitting beside the track, and this basically reminds you of that. So that's why I wanted to get one of those, because it just reminded me of Elmhurst, and I just like seeing like the clock just staying, like just the clock next to the railroad tracks, and it just looks really cool. And so that's why I decided to get one of those and just have it like Elmhurst, which is pretty cool. Now, I do. Now it looks like nothing has changed over here with the steam engine being out and stuff, but actually things have changed, and it's not externally but internally. Now, you may be hearing in the background a little fan noise. That's coming from my Lionel Power Max Plus. I have two transformers, the Z1000 and the Lionel Power Max Plus. And so you may be wondering, why do I have two transformers running at once? You only need one to operate the track. Well, if you look over here, if I just turn something on real quick, you can see the headlight light up. So what I've done here is I've actually connected some wires up to the track, so it can actually have the little headlight light up while I have the train running, or while I have like trains passing by in it. And this basically reminded me of like the Big Boy back in 2013, before it was taken to get restored. It used to basically sit on the track with the headlight on at the museum. I believe it was a museum. I've never seen it at the museum, but I believe it might have been at a museum, and it would be sitting on a track and it would have its headlight on. And so that's basically what I've done over here. It's basically just replicate that, but with a different engine, of course. And I just think it just looks really, really cool. And so I have it in neutral, and basically with these old transformer, or I should say conventional run trains, is that there's a little feature, there's a little switch on the bottom where you can turn on the reverse or turn off the reverse. And in neutral, it basically just lights up the headlight and the smoke unit, and that's basically all it does in neutral. And so it won't do anything else other than that, which is pretty nice. And so I won't burn up the motor or anything like that, because it's just stationary and it just has the headlight on. It just looks really, really cool to have something like that, because it just looks super cool. And that would definitely be a pretty cool shot for me to have like the train going by, like what you see here with that little headlight on. It would just look super, super cool. So that's why I decided to do that. Now moving on over here, we have added some pretty crazy stuff over here as well. I've added in a little bakery building over here, and right beside all the buildings you can tell that there's a bunch of light posts. Yes, these are brand new light posts that I've gotten, and these actually do light up, which are really, really cool. And you may be wondering where the wires are going to, and it's going to this little theater right here. You look on this theater, bam, you got this little battery box right here with a little switch. And so you go ahead and flip that, and voila, you got them on. You can definitely tell. Now it looks really, really cool at night in the dark, and you can just see like all the lights lighting up the whole town. It just looks really, really cool. But of course I have the lights on, so you can't really tell, but you can get the idea. So nothing much has changed. Nothing much has changed apart from the bakery being there and the light post being there. And I've added in some other stuff over here, and I've actually moved this around. This clock used to be in the middle, but now it's just sitting on the side, and I have a little open spot over there, which I'm going to talk about in just a few moments after I get done with everything else. So what I have over here, I've added in another house. I only had the blue one, but I've added in another one which looks exactly the same, but it's just different color. It's just making it look like a little side of the town with more houses and stuff. It just looks pretty cool. And next to this these two little houses, I have this cool little telephone box. This, of course, looks like it came from London, and it's really, really cool. Now what's really cool about it is that if you look closely inside, you can see a little telephone in there, and it just looks really, really cool. It's really, really nicely detailed, and it just looks amazing. And it's of course made out of die cast, so it's really strong, and it's really, really well made, and so it's definitely really nice. I might add in some telephone lettering. I don't know, where I can get something like that, but that would be something I would want to do. But it's not my main concern, but it would look cool with it, but it also looks cool without it anyway. You can get of course, you can get the obvious point of what this is. So I have moved this stuff over to the side. That shouldn't be like that. That should be sitting like that. All right, there you go. So I've moved most of this stuff to the side, and as you can see, you have Dave's garage right there. So basically, everything has just been moved to the side, and you may be wondering, why is there this big open spot right here? Well, there's a big open spot right there because I'm planning to make another station, and also you probably were wondering where the station went. Well, it's sitting in the back behind me. It's sitting in the dark right now, and the switch is too far away, and so basically that station that I had was pretty I made that a few years ago, and I specifically made that station for my Metro North Railroad train, which you guys 100% like seriously love. Like, I don't have no idea why you guys love that train so much, but you guys really do love seeing that train in action, and I really do appreciate it. And it, even though I made that for the Metro North M7, well, it didn't really fit with everything else, and so I was gonna keep it there, but it just looked kind of poorly built. And of course, I've gotten older and older, and my crafting skills has gotten more and more better than what I did before, but I'm gonna be making it a lot more better than it was before. Or it's not gonna be just Metro North styled. It's gonna be just like a normal station for any type of train, like kind of like an old style type of station, just like a open, just a big. It's gonna be smaller than the one that I had before, but it's still gonna work. It's basically gonna be half the size of the old one that I had. It's not gonna be half the size. It's basically gonna have two sides instead of just one side than the old one did have. So it's gonna be pretty cool to have two different sides for the station, and the platforms aren't going to be that tall, so it's not gonna be as tall as the old ones were, or as the old one was. So it's gonna be like for all types of trains. Like, of course, these trains have the little platforms on the side, especially for these diesel engines. This is my little Evolution hybrid right here, and then over here I have my electromotive SC78 ACE, and of course this one also has the steps on the side. And so I'm gonna be basically using it for a dual purpose, one for the diesel engines and also for the steam engines, and just basically every train that I have is gonna work with this station, and it's gonna look really nice. And of course, with my crafting skills, of course evolving, of course because of me getting older and older, it's gonna definitely look better than what I had before. So I'm really excited to make another station. I'm really looking forward to it, and part of the reason, and another reason why I decided to change the station, was because there has been a modification that I made to my table that's gonna basically cause that station to not work anymore. And that modification that I made was actually adding some barriers to my table, and it just looks absolutely amazing. These barriers, and this barrier is basically just for just making it look cooler and better on the edges, and also having no barriers so I don't have anything fall off, like these. Like, for example, if these cars would to fall off, well, they're not going to anymore, and it just looks really nice. And you may be wondering where I got these little boundaries. Well, they were actually little supports for a package that was delivered, I believe 2 days ago. 2 days ago, there was a little package that arrived that was holding a dresser in, and that package was super heavy. And around that package was these little supports, to hold the box from, or to keep the box from breaking open because of the pressure of how heavy the box actually was. And so there was these supports on each corner and side to keep it from breaking open and stuff. And so the box didn't break open or just start bending, and just, of course, what a normal box would do if you tried flattening it, or if you would put something that was too heavy and it started just like, you'll get the idea. And so basically there was like about 7 different supports. So, or about 8, or no, not like 9. So what I basically did when I opened up that box, I was holding a dresser in it. I was thinking of like, maybe I can use this for my layout, and so that's exactly what I decided to do. And what I've done is I've actually decided to take it from the box and brought it downstairs. And so yesterday I decided to try to figure out maybe I could use this for boundaries, and that's exactly what I've been able to do, and use 2 of these really long pieces, which are about 4 feet, which are basically 4 feet long. Put 2 on the 8 feet side of the plywood, and then have 2 4, and of course, since my edges were 3 or 4 feet long, I was able to put it on the edges as well. But for the small corners, there was these small like 3 feet corners, no, like 2 feet corners. And so over here you can see there's these boundaries that are only like 2 feet, they're only like a foot long. And so what I've decided to do is put it on this side where the station was. And so as you can tell, there's a little gap, or I put 2 on each side, and there's a little gap. You may be wondering what that gap is going to be for. Well, I've decided that I'm going to probably put like some plexiglass right here where the station is going to be, so you can actually like see into the station without a boundary getting in the way of the view. And it's basically just gonna be a look, so you can actually like see through the station, and it's just gonna look like a really cool little thing that I'm gonna be deciding to do. So I'm gonna get like some plexiglass, like see-through plexiglass, and put it against, or put it on that opening, on that gap, so you can see the station being in that area. Now, if you see this little block right here, I forgot what this is made out of. It's like stone or something. Where this track was, there's no crack right here where this, and then this track was, that was the end of the station. So the station was about the whole length of this track, but because of these boundaries taking apart, or taking part of the wood, the station was actually sticking out farther than the boundaries were. They were like, the wood would go, yes, the station was made out of wood, and then the paper was covering up the wood so you couldn't see it. And so the wood was like sticking all the way up to here, and of course because of that, the boundaries were in the way, and of course I couldn't do anything else with the station. So basically what I'm gonna do is make the station the size of that gap. And because of it being no short, of course, half the size of the last one I had, I'm gonna have 2 platforms, and because I'm gonna have 2 platforms, I don't have to have it as big, and the platforms won't be as tall as the old one was, so it's still gonna be able to work with all trains and stuff. So I'm just making everything all work, and it's just gonna, and I promise that it's gonna look a lot more better than the old one was, because the old one wasn't like made when I was like 11, I'm guessing. I don't even remember. I was like 11 when I made it, and it wasn't very good. So you can definitely tell that there's going to be a lot of stuff changing, and it's going to be definitely changing for the best. And so that's exactly what I have been doing lately, and I've basically just making things for the best. And so these no barriers are just super nice. They're super nice because they're very strong. I just use like craft glue to make this, or to glue these barriers to the side. And it just worked out perfectly. Like, look how strong this is. Like, this is not coming off anytime soon. Like, it just looks super slick, and it just looks super nice. Of course, there was some that didn't really look, that didn't really survive the box because of how heavy it was. But because of that, some of the boundaries are kind of messed up. But even though they're kind of messed up, they still stick on perfectly fine. So even though they're not messed up, I don't care. That it still looks nice anyway. There's another one, or there's two other ones over there that kind of have that are kind of messed up as well. So whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do, and it looks nice anyway. So that's basically the next few things I'm gonna be adding on. And also, with the package, of course the package had a bunch of pieces in it to put the dresser together. Well, because of that, I got a huge pile of styrofoam that I can use to make scenery, like mountains, hills, and so much other stuff that I could use the styrofoam for. And I'm gonna be using the styrofoam to make the station, and so it's gonna be super fun to make all this stuff. I'm just basically using anything that I can use to make stuff for my layout during this quarantine. And so that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to go to the store every 5 seconds to try to go and find more materials. Just trying to use the materials that I have, and that's exactly what I've done, and it worked out amazingly. Like using these supports on the bottom on the package to make it as boundaries, and look how crazy it looks. And what I mean by crazy, I mean amazing. And so I'm super excited to just continue to build as time goes on, and I'm just hoping that everything just looks incredible when I'm done with it. So I'm hoping that everything else can just look amazing, and I'm just looking forward for everything to just look amazing by the time I'm done with it. I'm just super excited to just add everything, or just make stuff just work and make it look amazing. So that's what I'm going to be planning to do, and I hope you guys will enjoy the journey with me as I continue to post more and more updates of what I've done with my leg. Now, just to get an idea of how much styrofoam I've gotten so much styrofoam. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, look at all the styrofoam that I got from this package. Like, I got all these pieces right here. Oh, whoops. I got these 2 big blocks of styrofoam right in here and here. And then I have a bunch of these pieces over here that I can use for whatever I want to use it for. And as you can see over here, here's the old station, and you can see that it was pretty falling apart ever since I made it. Like, as you can tell, it was a 2x4, two 2x4s, and then the rest of it was made out of paper, and it wasn't made that well. There was a big railing all around over here, but then the railing broke off because it was just made out of toothpicks, and so it didn't work very well. And so that's why it's time for an upgrade and make something a lot more better than this was. Alright, so that's gonna do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update video. I just wanted to show you guys everything that I've done to make this incredible layout. It was just super fun to just do this during the quarantine and just make everything just look amazing. And I'm super excited to continue to do this and make this layout just so much more better than what it was before. Like adding these boundaries and making a brand new station, it's just gonna look absolutely amazing. I'm just super excited to just do that and just have lots of fun just making an awesome station and an awesome layout during this quarantine. Even though there's really tough times going on right now, I'm still just trying to make the best of it and have lots of fun just doing what I like to do and just have lots of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys finally are happy to finally hear something from me, and expect more, because I'm gonna be back doing all these videos, just showing you guys all the updates that I have coming up. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever I make. See you guys later. I've used all these clamps to clamp all these boundaries together, and because of all these clamps, I was able to connect all of these supports into boundaries. And I literally use glue like this. To glue all these boundaries, and then slap them onto the plywood, and then use all these clamps to hold one piece at a time. And then for the little small pieces, I have 4 clamps, 1, 2, 3, and then the small one and I use 2 on each little small piece on each side, and it just worked out incredibly. So it just turned out so incredibly cool. It just turned out so well, and it just looks incredible. Just look how incredible that looks. Oh my god, it's so good.